not my throat. Oh, that's bright.
All right. Thank you everyone so much for coming. We will kick things off with head coach Matt Wells. We'll start things off with questions. Matt Pollard, go ahead.
Matt Pollard, Burgundy Wave. Matt, great. Talking about just the bounce back, you talked about how the performance was disappointing, and with the ball, really good. Pressing with the ball, what of all of that impressed you the most about this team's performance?
Yeah, I think just the response. I think the response from last week, the mentality we've shown today, much closer to the personality we want, much closer to the identity that we want as a team. Still far from perfect. There was a lot more elements on show today than there was against Seattle, so pleased with that.
Brain Nurse with Denver Post. How much more special does it feel today, given that three of arguably your most important signings from the offseason contributed to scoring today?
Yeah, no, listen, that's I sort of sorry, do you want me to lean forward? I expect that of them. That's why they're at the club. That's why we brought them here, and I expect that from them, and I expect that from all of the other guys to step out, embody this identity that we want, try and dominate games. We didn't do it perfectly today, but yeah, as I said, it was a lot closer to the team we want to be.
Hey, Coach. Keith Richards, Team MBS Media. I guess kind of playing off that same question, one of the words you use a lot this offseason is dominate. How close do you feel like you were to dominating today to your standard?
I don't want to always feel critical. No, listen, there was elements there. I don't think we dominated today the chances. Obviously, I think 25 shots, 10 on target is a good return. But there's spells of the game we can dominate a lot more. So we'll keep trying to improve that.
Coach Ricardo with Area Sports Network. How we doing?
Hey, Ricardo.
One of the things we mentioned last week and on Thursday was the lack of personality. Today it feels a lot different from people who started and the ones who came on the field as substitutes. Tell me, what was addressed throughout the week to go ahead and fix on that?
Listen, I gave them some real honest feedback after the game last week. So, we had our usual team meeting, our debrief. We then had a second one as well, just because there was so much to cover, then a lot of individual meetings. So it's just about trying to recover the place that we're on and get back to the identity we want to be. And I saw a lot more personality today from the team, but still loads to improve and work on.
Can you talk a little bit about the set pieces offensively, the job Rob Birch is doing, and why it clicked so well today?
Yeah, unbelievable job that Rob's doing. And I think the great thing for that was the energy it transmitted to the stadium. I think every single corner we had, the crowd was bouncing, so I think they could feel our danger level as well. So, and good variety to our deliveries and our movements. Again, I won't give too much away, but the boys were very good on the communication of which one we were doing. So, yeah, very pleased with that.
Gaffer, Lucas Harrington, 2 starts, good performance on the ball, and then now the goal to boot on that. What impresses or what is he doing so well as an 18-year-old? What do you want to see him do more to continue to excel?
Yeah, I think his maturity stands out again for someone of his age. The way he's dropped in seamlessly, and he's impressed me so much through pre-season. He's a wonderful character. He has a good mentality. So he's got all the tools to improve, and he will improve as a player because there's so many elements that he can continue to work on. But as you say, I liked his personality with the ball today.
Coach, good to see you. Matthew Wick with Pitcast. It is February 28th, 70 degrees, day game, Commerce City, your introduction to the fans. What do you think they saw of this team, of you, and they'll continue to see as they come back this season?
Yeah, I'm pleased they got to see a much closer version to what we want to be than last weekend. I was frustrated that the first sort of unveiling of our football last weekend was totally unrecognisable to what we want to be. So it was good to show them a first step of what we're going to become. But as I say, we know there's still lots today that I'm frustrated with, and we will improve. So it's a good start.
Coach Mitchell Carroll with Commerce City Radio.
Good to see you, Mitchell.
A couple changes to the 11 from last week.
Yeah.
Maybe you could walk us through that, and then just a second question about the back-to-back substitutions there before the hour mark, and what happened there, and why one sub so close to each other like that.
Oh, good to see you, Phil. Oh yeah.
Nice to see you.
Give me a ring. Give me a ring.
We've got to shoot
Okay.
the Rocky Mountains. Is it rocky?
Yeah. Hope you have a safe takeoff. See you, Phil. Yeah. In terms of the changes, listen, Alex Harris came on and took the shirt last week. It was as simple as that. He came on, made a massive impact in the game. And I want that culture here where the players, everyone should feel close to starting. If I train well, if I play well, if I make an impact, I have a chance to start. There's no hierarchy here. So that's exactly how I want it. Al took his opportunity and trained really well this week, so he deserved to start today. Who was the other one? Rob. Same with Rob. Trained really well this week, so comes into the team. Simple as that.
And then the substitutions.
I'm not sure exactly what happened. I wasn't sure. I was busy giving some tactical information. Next thing I turned around, we were down to 10 men. So I was a little bit frustrated on the sideline with the official, but I literally have no clue what was going on, whether it was a mess up from us as a staff or from the officials. I'm not so sure, but yeah, not a huge focus from today.
Sure.
2 questions on Hamzat. First, did you know that he had that long distance shot in his bag? And then secondly, defensively he looked a lot better today. Just what was better from that standpoint from him?
Yeah, it was closer to his identity again today, much like all the players. I think on the second phase of set plays, we're big on recycling the ball wide and then delivering again. So as he wound his leg back to shoot, I was getting ready to shout at him, and I quickly transformed that into a celebration. So if he always hits the target and always scores goals, then he can do it. Otherwise, we play the pass wide and we cross again. But I thought he was, like many other players, much improved today, much closer to the version of himself that we expect and we want to see.
Hey, Coach, Pat Radigan from Footy 5280. Last week we talked about the early goal, and tonight that goal was prevented by Zach basically coming through the back, somebody to punch him off the line, and then second half he makes that save with his shoulder. Just how important is it for him to put out those fires and to just keep the scoreline where it was at?
Yeah, no, I just said that in the dressing room. Actually, I don't usually make a habit of singling players out, but I singled him out because we were so dominant in the game, but he needs to be switched on because there's always going to be moments in a football match where you need your goalkeeper to produce big moments. I don't want that too often, but he certainly did it today, and as you say, at key moments of the game. So it was a massive contributor to the scoreline today and the way that we played.
One of the first things that all the Rapids fans got to see from your tactical style, your philosophy, is the way that we build out of the back. Sometimes we start with 5 players in the box before we start with possession. Yeah. Walk us through a little bit of the nerves, seeing your teams line up with that, with the pressure there, and what you guys developed in training to go ahead and get to where you are now.
Yeah, good question. I mean, every game's a different story. So, again, I think I said before, I don't always expect you guys to notice, or the fans in the stadium to notice, but it was a very different setup today than it was against Seattle in terms of just some tweaks in positions, and that's just based off how the opponent presses. So we'll change things slightly every game, but the mentality to play, to take control of the ball, to attract the opponent, to then attack fast is the basic premise of what we're trying to do. Again, is it perfect? It won't be for a while. But I was pleased with, again, the personality, the bravery the guys showed today. That was the biggest thing for me.
Coach, good afternoon. Ivan de la Garza from Fuera del Aire. What can you tell us? You're barely 2 games in. What can you tell us about the level of the MLS so far, since you have European experience and now you're here?
Yeah, listen, every and obviously analysing the 2 teams that we played and in pre-season, every game's tough. Every game's difficult. Every team has players that you have to pay special attention to. I thought we did a really good job of that today, keeping their key threats quiet. I thought our defensive structure was generally very good, even though we became too passive in the second half. I want us to keep pressing at the right moments, but we missed some opportunities to press today in the second half. But again, the defensive structure, we were compact, we were organised, we held the line well. So yeah, it's a tough league. Next game will be tough. Every weekend will be the same. We have to prepare well and then execute.
Hi, Coach. The Portland keeper got a yellow card on a play that looks like it could have been a red. Just wondering if you got an explanation of why that card was a decision and what your thoughts were on that.
I didn't get an explanation. I thought it was touch and go. I claimed a red, that's for sure. From the sideline, I think Reggie might. I haven't seen a replay. I thought Reg might have had an opportunity to shoot after the touch, and obviously the goal would have been open. So potentially, but some weeks we'll get them, some weeks we won't, and some weeks they'll go for us as well. So not too fussed about that.
Coach, Hamzat will get the headlines for the goal, but in the midfield we saw Paxton doing a lot of dirty work and Josh Atencio getting forward quite a bit. What did you see from them in the game, and what did you task them with?
Yeah, I mean, Pax had to play a little bit higher today because of Portland's man-man structure, so it's very different to Seattle, where he played off the back of their midfield line. Now it's about stretching the game and then leaving the space in front of him to arrive later. So tactically, I thought he played his role very well, that contributed to the team, but a consequence of that is he's not going to be as involved and as influential as I would like him to be, but that's just the tactical nuance of the game. I still felt he showed great personality and he found his moments to impact. His movements to the outside on the right gave them a big problem when we put Reggie low and he moved outside. So tactically I thought he was very impressive, and like you say, his pressing, his energy, first class. Rafa as well, I think the 2 of them, the way they worked, really stopped Portland getting any real build up into the game. So I was really pleased with those guys.
Thoughts on Jackson, not just tonight, but what you've seen from him so far in your time at the club?
Yeah, really impressed with him in the pre-season. I made that pretty clear pretty early on. I like his fearlessness. I like his quality with the ball. He used to be a number 10, so he's got a lot of the attributes that I want, where he's able in certain games to come inside and link the build. On other games like today, I don't know again if how much we noticed, but we put him a lot higher on the outside of the game, and his end product needs to improve. It's something we're working very hard on, so that he's more of a threat, not just positionally, but also once he receives the ball to impact the penalty box. But he's worked really hard through pre-season. He's in really good physical condition, and I'd say the biggest thing with Jackson, I like his mentality, and I hope it's contagious, because it can rub off on other guys as well, because he's exactly the personality that we need at this organisation.
One of the things we notice is on your approach is how active, engaging you are on the technical box there. Is the micromanagement that you're doing a little bit on the sidelines because we're so early in the season, or can we expect that throughout the whole rest of the season?
Yeah, I'd like to say it's because we're early, but I think I'll always be engaged in the game, and I say because we have such a clear system and clear movements, and it's unrealistic to think it's going to be, in any given moment, there's something wrong. So it's just part of that I'm always trying to correct and manage, and I do think it's part of the learning phase, the players getting to understand, and I can feed back to them this week and say, because I'm usually on the wide angle, looking like a crazy man walking around, but I can say, look guys, I'm so animated here because you understand I'm saying this, if you move here we can make this connection, you pass to him, or something on the pressing, you've got to be in that position to then jump from that position and you come across. So yeah, I think I'll always be engaged, and just personally, it's not forced. It is authentic, but I do think players like to feel energy from the sideline. We're an energetic, dynamic team, so I think it's good for them to feel that coming from me and the other staff as well.
All right, and that's it for Coach. Thanks so much.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Well done, guys. Well done. Good to see you. Thank you. Good to see you.
Thank you. Good game.
Good to see you. Onwards and upwards.
Thanks, Coach.
Good to see you.
Hamzat Ojediran. We'll get started with questions. Who's got the first one? Okay, Wayne.
Hey, Hamzat. Obvious first question. How did it feel to get that first goal for the Rapids?
Yeah, it's great feeling. Like I said from the beginning, I'm happy to join the Rapid family. So it's positivity from the start. So we keep going. Yeah.
Share with us a little bit, Hamzat, about how you feel playing under Matt Wells' system.
Yeah, it's a system that I'm used to when I play in Hungary, and I think this is what the team saw in me, and that's why I'm here. And we're still progressing step by step with the way we play. Like last week was a little bit about not us, but this week we give a little bit more. Then you guys will still see more of the Colorado Rapids.
Hamzat, your first match in front of a live MLS crowd. How was that for you?
Yeah, great feeling. But I know it's coming. From last week, I see it coming. So, step by step.
Two next guys.
Hamzat, again, congrats on the goal. You pulled up from pretty deep. What were you seeing and thinking on that one?
Which one?
Your goal.
Yeah, from the way our setup, I just give it a try, like the game just starts, so I just try my luck and it worked for us. That's it.
We can mention all day here that beautiful goal that you had, but one of the things I noticed from you, Hamzat, when the team pushes up some attacks, you fall back and stand next to Lucas or Rob or one of the other defenders to do the three in the back. Do you feel like some of your skills and attributes are more defensively or maybe some more offensively, like the way you were shooting today?
Yeah, like I got more of defensive ability, but which I know, then I try to improve more on the attacking ability. So I just sit in front of the two defender to take the loose ball so we can play again. So this is what I do in the game.
Last week, Coach Wells said the team needed to show more personality this week. What does it mean to you when he means more personality, and how did that play out in training?
After the last game in Seattle, it's a little bit harsh, like we didn't show more of ourselves, which we didn't plan it. This just happened in the game. And everybody give it all in training, and this come out like the 3 points today. So I think from now, we take it on. We won't let the gas out, so we keep pushing.
Keegan talked about this week in training that relative to preseason, the amount of time you've had together as a squad has been pretty small. You get another week back at home before LA on Saturday. What will the team building and the training look like this week?
Because of the coach we have, he never get tired of pushing you, So I think it's gonna be a great one this week as usual. Like he said after the game, he said it's over. Like the 3 points is over. Like we have to keep going. So it's good mentality from him to give us this idea. Like the 3 points is over. Let's focus on the next game. Yeah.
Coming over to MLS, how would you describe MLS and the Colorado Rapids experience to your friends and former players who haven't played over here before?
I just asked a couple of players that I know they play here. They just say to me, I'm going to enjoy it. Yeah, and that's what I want. I want to enjoy it. When the club asks about me, I say I miss football. I'm hungry to play. So I want to enjoy every moment here. That's it.
All right, we have time for a couple more questions.
I know Coach said 3 points, it's over, on to the next one, but you have to celebrate. I know you like to unwind with a book. Will you do anything to celebrate with your teammates, by yourself, to enjoy this first one at home, your first goal in Burgundy?
Yeah, we've done that, and we have off day. So after the off day, we get back to work.